Okay, today I want to talk about lubricating a lawnmower. These lawnmowers don't use a lot of ball bearings, so they just have metal to metal with a little gap and room for grease. So on this particular mower, I'm going to show you some of the places that we need to hit with grease. But first, let me talk about grease. In my past mowers, I've used the cheap grease, and believe me, it does a good job as far as lubrication. But one of the things I noticed that don't take, a lot of greases don't take moisture and dirt very good. And one of the reasons a lot of my ball bearings have failed in the past was due to the grease turning into grit. It became like sandpaper. So as a result, I've turned to something like marine grease that I hope to use on this mower. Why? It's waterproof. A lot of water just washes grease and all the other greases out, and because the grease areas on these things are not really sealed, waterproof, therefore they're exposed to moisture, water. I decided, and I've also have seen the metal parts rust with other grease. Am I saying this is the best grease to use? No, it's cheap. Oh, I won't say it's cheap, but it is a marine grade grease, and I would say any marine grade grease is water resistant, boat trailer, marine equipment. So I would probably use a higher grade or something that's more synthetic. I don't know where this is on the synthetic line. It's something I bought at Harbor Freight, and it looks like it'll do the job. And so anyway, so I put a cartridge like it in my grease gun, and what we do, we take this grease gun, and down here we have a grease fitting right here. We push this gun on here, and then we squeeze the trigger 2 or 3 times. Then we come over here to the front of our mower on the tires. We have a grease fitting here. We'd leave that 2 or 3 times. And on the back side, there's often some on the back side. And then you do this on the same, you come over here and do the same over here, and then hit the axle right here with that. That's the spindle and that's the axle. The bearings that's on the mower deck are sealed. So on this particular mower, they're non-grease. You don't grease the mower deck spindles. But what I did on my Cadet I had before this, I took the bearings apart to see what happened to them, and the grease had turned into grit. So I bought new bearings to put in there, and I took the bearings apart, cleaned the grease out, and I put synthetic water-resistant grease in those bearings, hoping that they'll last a lot longer. And they went a long time. I sold the thing before I even had a chance to see how long it would last. But so that's what I'm doing on this. There is one other point of maybe a lube, is some other points, and that's areas that are exposed to dirt, wide open to dirt and stuff. You don't want to use this kind of grease because it's tacky, it's sticky, and dirt sticks to it, and dirt can be like sandpaper to metal. It can, so I bought this. This is a dry grease. So there's places where dirt can get, and you still need to lubricate it, but you want to use a dry grease for that. One of those points is right here in this steering sector. Spray that on, and then come over to this side, hit that. Okay. Next place would be down here around these pedals. There's a little places back up in here we want to hit those.